for it.
Yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. So let's start from the beginning, bro. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to New Fairfield High School. It's like a small school in Connecticut. Just like a regular public school, nothing crazy.
Got you, got you.
Yeah.
After high school, where did you go freshman year?
Freshman year, so my out of high school, I really wanted to go to UConn and play ball there, but I went to a small school. No one really like big has ever come out of that school, so like limited options. Like Division I schools aren't really gonna offer you if
Right.
no one before you has played D1, so it's kind of hard to get into. So I ended up just emailing coaches, and this coach at Southern Connecticut just responded to me and took me on a visit, and then I signed there. I played there my first year, and then I eventually after there transferred to Cortland.
That's crazy, bro. Actually, I went to a camp in high school my junior year in Temple, and I actually ended up going on an official visit to Southern Connecticut. One of my coaches and I went, and my cousin went too. It was pretty dope though. Why'd you transfer from Southern Connecticut to Cortland?
Um, like my major at the time, so I didn't. I was kind of undecided when I went to college, and then I wanted to get into like the PT physical therapy route, and they didn't have a solid program for that. So I decided to look elsewhere. And back then, you couldn't like transfer even like in the same division without like a penalty. So I was like, let me go to Cortland, went down a division. But like in the back of my head, I was like, if because I always had this dream of wanting to play pro ball one day. I was like, if you're a dog, like they're gonna find you no matter if you're at D1 or D3. If you can play, you can play.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact, bro. Yeah, and you did your thing at Cortland, man. It's cool. It's cool for me when I look at when I look at your career and I follow your career, right? It's cool for me. Like, you ever be like, damn, Aspire, I played against somebody that was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh,
100%.
that was cool, man. It was really cool competing against you in college. And the cool thing, like you said, you went to Cortland State, a pretty prestigious school itself, and obviously a rich football tradition. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man. I visited Cortland too before, like when I was in high school as well. That was my other top school coming out of high school, and I feel like when you're in high school, you have this like thing in the back of your head that like Division III football is not legit football. It's like whatever. But I remember going and visiting Cortland and just being like blown away by the facilities, the coaches, like just the tradition. Everything they had going on there. I couldn't believe it. And I remember like being on my visit and looking around and being like yeah, I could see like I could see myself here. Like, and that was kind of crazy that I went to a different school and then eventually made my way back. It was almost like it was kind of drawn to me in a sense. But yeah, like Cortland, just really good tradition. When I was there and I graduated, I was the 111th team to
Okay.
play there. So they've been playing ball like forever since the early 1900s and stuff. So it's kind of it's been around forever. Coach Dan McNeil there, he kind of really set the program up to be successful. A lot of winning seasons under him, and then they just Fitzpatrick took it over from Morrisville, and just that guy just I think he's just a genius, especially
Bro,
offensively, schematically, and they just won a national championship. So it's crazy to
crazy.
see how good we were when I was there, and then how far they've just continued to improve and continue to grow. It's just been incredible.
Yeah, nah, that's what's cool, man. Like when I'm thinking about this, right, and talking to you about stuff. For me, it's fire, right? Because like yeah, we played against each other, but you got to actually like play against Coach Fitz too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
when he was at Morrisville. So you played, obviously you played defense. So you understand, bro. He's literally the smartest football mind I've met thus far. Literally, bro. It's
yeah,
crazy.
and I mean we were my senior year we were good. Like we won the conference and everything, but we lost to you guys, and we lost by a
Yeah,
lot.
bro. It was crazy, man. I tell people all the time, man. I'm 2-1 against Cortland State, right? 1-0 against Ithaca, but when we played Cortland, we played two good Cortland teams, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Like we played two very good Cortland teams. You know what I mean? We played a good Ithaca team too, but like you said, I definitely credit Coach Fitz a lot. We had a good defense, but Coach Fitz is so smart, man. Like we average like 45 points a game.
Yeah.
Like he just scores at will, however he wants to. So that's cool, and it's got to be cool for you. You know what I'm saying? That he's at your alma mater now, and you get to watch them win a national championship. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, 100%. I remember when he got hired being like kind of unsure because he was like, we just didn't know. We just didn't know. And
Right.
like played against him and he had success, but we're like, should they hire someone else? Like, and then he just like from the first year it was like, oh no, like this is the guy. Like,
Bro,
like
it's
all
crazy.
doubts were like taken completely away. I think he only had four losses at Cortland since he took over in 2020.
Yes,
Which
bro, and it's
crazy.
crazy too, bro. He hasn't lost a conference game yet.
That's insane.
That's not in a good conference. Like
Yeah,
that's that.
it's not like they're
Crazy.
playing bad teams. Like they're playing good, solid teams week in and week out, and just making them look silly. And I think him too. I follow Cortland football. Obviously, I went there. I like read all the articles and stuff. And he like something that I love that he did this year that I think really propelled them forward was he was like, yeah, we're gonna play all the like top ranked teams we could play for our out of conference games this year, and just try to play the hardest competition. And I think that just made them good because like beginning of the year they were playing ranked teams the whole season, and then they played their conference teams. Like maybe their conference teams took a dip a little bit, but they could draw back on that experience from earlier in the year of playing those hard teams, and they knew what to expect going to the playoffs. I think it was just such a
Exactly. Now that's a huge point to be made, and they're gonna start. He's doing the same thing this year, bro. I think they play Susquehanna again, and like all these teams that are ranked. Like you said, take the lumps early, learn from it, because like you said, the conference definitely took a dip. I think a lot of it was not just COVID, but I think it shifted, right? I think a lot of the top recruits, seriously, they go to Cortland, Brockport, and then it kind of like it goes like the mid tiers, like you know what I'm saying, Morrisville, Utica, and then it completely just drops off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's kind of sad because like when we played, I feel like there's a lot of, like every team was pretty good. Like we won the conference that year, and we I think we went into overtime against like Utica, and we went into overtime against Hartwick, teams that were like towards the bottom of the conference that season.
Yeah,
it was just so competitive. But I think today's day and age, everyone wants to go to the winning school. They want to go to the winning school and play for the big program. And then if it doesn't work out, then they just stop playing football, which is kind of sad because I think there's a lot of opportunities for guys to play at those other schools and build those programs up.
not facts. And also too, like everyone's transferring, right? So
Yeah.
so they're not sticking out a tough year. They're leaving the Cortland program. You know what I'm saying? Or they're leaving like for example, they're leaving like a Hartwick, right? And they're just like, oh, we're not good, so we'll just leave. And so it just you know what I'm saying. Basically, you pretty much might as well remove a recruiting class, half a recruiting class every year, because they're not going to fight through a little adversity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what's like is kind of unfortunate with the new rules, the transfer portal, like not having, like kind of how I said, like I had to, if I wanted to transfer, like I wouldn't be able to within my division. So you kind of have to stick it out through hard times.
Right.
Now, like the way the system's set up, it just teaches guys that like, oh, you could just run away, go to another program. It's the coaches, it's this, it's that. Like when we played, it was like, cause when I transferred into Cortland, I didn't start my whole first year as a sophomore. Like, and I started at Southern too from a Division II school. I came to Cortland, didn't start, and I was like, man, I thought I was going to come here and dominate, and there wasn't anywhere for me to hide. Like I couldn't go to a different program. There was nowhere to go. So it was like I got to stay here and figure it out, and I did. But that adversity I went through, from not playing and not starting, kind of propelled me to my junior year, my senior year to be so successful, and then that propelled me to go and play professional football.
Nah, facts, and that's a perfect segue, right? So let's talk end of senior year at Cortland, right? What were the steps? So actually, all right, we'll reverse it a little bit. I remember our junior year, me, you, Nick Edmond, or I'm sorry, Nick Woodman, and yep, and
Peebles, Dylan.
yeah, Peebles, yep, Peebles was there. We all were at Colgate.
Colgate, yeah.
Remember our junior year, we were at that pro day at Colgate, where we ran the 40, and then we did the one list test, and then we talked to all those NFL scouts and stuff. At that moment, I tell people that's when I knew like I'd be pro. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like at that moment I knew like not only like was it serious, but I knew that I could do it. Right. Something kind of clicked in me, and I had a good junior year, right, when it kind of transferred into my senior year. But for you, did you know then, or did you know before that?
Um, I think that like gave me confidence, like because I was kind of a guy that like held on to the belief of wanting to play pro ball, but never said it out loud or spoke it out loud. And then my defensive coordinator at the time was the first person to tell me, he's like, "Yeah, you want to go play professional football, right?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, how'd you know that? 'Cause I know I don't tell anybody. I didn't tell a soul. Like, I didn't tell anyone close to me that that was my dream. And he's like, "Yeah." And then the head coach, he kind of contacted the scouts and got me into that junior day that we had, and that's when it kind of all came together. Like, okay, I can actually do this now. I think
Yeah.
it like gave me the confidence to like really like go 100%. Like before, I was believing it; it was in the back of my head, but I was like, you know what, I'll just have a great college career and then see what happens. And then when that junior day came up, it was like, okay, like there's scouts here looking at me that like this is a legit thing. And so I like
Yeah.
it just took it to another level for me where I just started taking it way more seriously. I started like thinking about just that I can actually do it and I can actually play at that next level. So it was cool.
Nah, that was dope, man. And it's cool to kind of reiterate when you said like no matter what level, right? For the most part, they'll if you're good, they're gonna find you, especially nowadays, right?
Oh yeah.
But like think about it, bro. We didn't even really like we had social media, but it still wasn't the same as it is now, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was as big as it was now. Like we like us like college athletes, we knew about like 40s and 5-10-5s and all drills and stuff. But like outside of college athletics, no one really knew about those drills or like what those drills meant. You know, I feel like everybody now watches the combine just continue to blow up like since we
Yeah,
graduated, and everyone knows those metrics now. So if you're a Division III guy and you run a 4.4 and like you jump crazy and you have crazy numbers, like all automatically people are like, let's look at this guy, you know, and you
right.
could blast that out on so many social media platforms now and really
Mm-hmm.
get your name noticed. Where before, like honestly, like it's easier now, but before it was very tough to like get in front of scouts because I know that was my biggest worry was like I knew I had the measurables, I knew I had the size, the height, um, and all the metrics. They're good 40 times. Like I could bench press 225, 35 times. But like I just had to get in front of the scouts to show them. That was the biggest
Right.
thing. And it's like, how do I
Right.
do that? That was the biggest obstacle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's funny you say that and the reason why I tell people like it's crazy, I knew that I was gonna be a pro, bro. I knew it because of Lamar, our quarterback, right? He he had such a dominant college career, bro. There's NFL scouts all the time. And I remember Coach Fitz came up to me one day and he told me, he said, Caleb, all you have to do just play well.
Mm-hmm.
Play well. They're here, right? They're for somebody else technically, but play well. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, that was the next step. And I remember when Coach Fitz sent me that email for that junior day, right? And he was talking to me about it. He was like, "Man, we're gonna get you in front of some eyes. You know what I mean? You just kind of gotta deliver, right? You gotta
Mm-hmm.
do what you gotta do." So I'm kind of glad that happened for us, bro, our junior year, because my senior year was good, but it was solid. But I had that, like you said, I had that confidence in the back of my mind, like this is really something I want to do, but now I think that I can do it, and people are gonna watch, right? So for you, after that, so we're going senior year now. Regional combine,
Yep.
right? I remember seeing you there. We were it's kind of fire, bro. We were in the same warm up line and everything, bro. I'll never forget that. That was so cool to me, bro. I'll never forget. I felt like a big ass hand on my shoulder. I'm like, who the Oh, you know what I'm saying? Because like right, like we talked about, like that was our opportunity.
Oh yeah.
And so for us for the NFL Combine, that was our opportunity. So I'm trying to like get zoned into warm ups. I feel like a big hand on my shoulder. I'm like, oh, Jake, right? Um, talk about that opportunity for you there. You know what I mean? Talk about that moment.
Yeah, 100%. Well, first of all, like I put my hand on your shoulder just so that I saw you there. I was like, okay, like it kind of made my nerves calm down. Like, okay, I know someone here. Like,
Yeah,
be fine, you know. Like I can kind of relax and just focus and just make sure I test well, and it
for
took some
sure,
away and pressure off me. But
for
yeah,
sure.
so played senior year. Obviously, we both had a great senior year. um, like stats and everything wise. I ended up playing in a bowl game right after senior year to kind of get recognized and to kind of get my name out there. So I played in the National Bowl down in Florida. Um, went really like played pretty good there, but I think the most important thing that came out of there was I met my agent. So my agent represented a guy from Cortland the year before, Gabe Ostro. He was a defensive
Bro, different, bro. He was different, bro.
different, like freaky, like one of the
Different.
freakiest guys I've ever seen. I seen him like clean, like hang clean, like 360,
Sheesh.
but like the worst technique ever. But he got it.
So he was different though, bro. He was crazy too.
Yeah, great.
He had like that edge to him, man.
Yeah, like and like being around him in college too, just like made me better, you know, because like he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
such a weight room rat, and he was so freaky, and he would just always be like, "Jake, let's go. We're going and doing this, doing this, doing that," and like it made me like love the weight room and love training just because I was around him so often. Like he kind of propelled me into a better person and player myself. But yeah, did that bowl game, and then from there, back in the day, they had regional combines, which I like the NFL used to put on for smaller school guys, and it was a way for you to kind of get in front of some scouts, get your numbers, and then they give you an opportunity to get to like a pro day or to get to like maybe a bigger combine. And I think it's kind of sad. I think they should still do it because it helped guys like us. Like without that regional combine back in the day, we wouldn't have had anything. You know, there'd be like no way or no contact for us to get to the next level. So I did that regional combine. I tested pretty well. Some things there, like I did okay on, not the best, but it gave me an opportunity to get into Fordham's Pro Day the next week. So I was able to get into Fordham's Pro Day the week after that, and I tested really well there. And I feel like that's really when I got noticed by the most scouts and kind of started popping up on people's like radars with professional teams.
That's so lit. That's so lit. So, all right. So we're gonna fast forward now, right? So week of the draft comes, right? Um, what's the agent saying? Is he saying you're gonna get drafted? You know what I'm saying? He's saying like NFL free agent deal. What's he talking to you about?
Um, I don't think like we didn't think we were gonna get drafted. Part of me was hoping like maybe super late, but we were definitely hoping to get like a contract, like an undrafted free agent contract right after the draft. But it kind of rewind just a little bit. Like I did the regional combine. I kind of like pulled my quad during the
Okay.
combine. Did the did the pro day the next week. My pro day was the next week, but I didn't have like I'm a Division III guy. I'm not gonna tell them like, hey, like I can't do it because that was my only opportunity. So I just ran my 40 on a pulled quad. Kind
That's
of crazy,
crazy.
but like when you're a small school guy, like you like I only got to get one opportunity. I'm not
That's
like
it.
a draft pick that like can just skip out on this and oh they'll just come look at me another time. Like this was it for me. So I remember just rolling it, and rolling it would make it feel better for like 30 seconds. And I remember I just rolled my quad, ran my 40, and I remember like I got to the 30 and it just like so much pain.
Oh my God.
Like it just like sharp pain in my quad, but I was like, fuck it, like I got 6 steps, like just get through it.
Right. Right.
But that was that's like what you had to do when you're a small school guy. And then I did a couple local days after that with the Jets and the Giants. So like if you live close enough to NFL teams, you can kind of go in and they do like a little 20-minute workout with you with a bunch of other guys, and you can kind of see the facility. And it's a way for them to look at guys again. So I did that with the Jets and the Giants, and I think the Giants were like interested in me a lot, and then I had like some conversations with like the Kansas City Chiefs, I think at the time, and maybe the Raiders. I kind of forget now, but I thought one of those teams was going to sign me after the draft, but I ended up just signing. Nothing happened, nothing came of it, and I just got a rookie camp invite from the Chiefs right after the draft. So I took that, went there for 3 days, but it's like 3 days where they'll bring in like 60 guys, like both offense and defense, and just have scrimmaging for 3 days, and they might
Oh
only
wow.
and they might only be looking for like one wide receiver. You know, they just want to see him in like live action and like team reps and stuff. So sometimes you kind of get screwed where they're not even looking for your position, but they won't tell you that. So that kind of happens a lot. So that ended, and then from there, I just randomly one day, I remember I was getting my hair cut, and Ottawa Red Blacks like called my phone and left a voicemail, and I was like, Ottawa Red Blacks, like, where is that? Like, what league is this in? And it was in the CFL. I was like, oh shit, like this is fucking real legit football. And
Right.
they're like, yeah, camp starts in like 4 days. Like, come up and
That's crazy.
we want to sign you to a contract. Do you want to come up and play? And I was like, yeah, of course, absolutely.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I actually like at first when they called, like I'm not gonna lie, when they first called me and talked to me, I was like nervous at first because it's like I'm a Division III guy, like this has never happened before. Like taking this jump like D3 to like the pros, you're always wondering like oh man, like can I really do that? Can I really just like play up at this division? So I was like nervous, and I remember talking to my mom about it and almost being like, maybe I should just wait and see if like an NFL opportunity comes around, or maybe I should just wait. And I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I just took the opportunity and I just ran with it because it's like I've made such a career out of it. And it's been
Right,
cool.
right. For real. That's crazy. All right, so you go to Ottawa. You play there for just a season, or how did that go? What was because I remember you had a little stint, I think, again, right, with the NFL.
Yeah. So I went to Ottawa. This is our draft year was 2016. So 2016, I went up to Ottawa training camp. Got there. I was super nervous, but I was like killing it in camp. I was having a great camp, playing really well. And then about like 2 weeks in, I break my hand.
Oh.
Yeah, broke my hand in practice. And they were just like, yeah, we just got to let you go. Like, nothing we can do about it. And in the CFL, like, if you're a rookie, they could just cut you, but like during training camp if you get hurt. So it kind of sucked. But they really liked me. So they're like, come back, like, when your hand heals up, let us know, be in contact. Like, we like who you are as a player, and we'll pick you back up. So I remember I was just working like a job in the summer, back at home, training.
Yeah.
Had this cast on my hand. Like, they gave me a white cast, bro. And, like, like after, like, 8 weeks I had it, it was, like, brown. It was
right.
like, so much sweat and dirt. But, like, because I was just training the whole time with it on, like, bench pressing with this cast on. Like, doing like, but whatever. Like, I was like, I got to train. Like, I can't not be training.
Facts.
And then my hand healed up, and it was right around training camp for the NFL. So I started getting some calls from teams. The Packers called me. They brought me in for a workout, but they're like, yeah, we need an offensive lineman, but we can't find any offensive linemen right now on the market. Like, so we just want to try you out at O-line. So I did an O-line tryout for the Packers. And like I've always been a defensive lineman, so I didn't have the technique down. And
right.
And they're like, yeah, we like where you are athletically. Like, at the end of the season, that we might have an opportunity for you. So, like, but you just got to get your technique right. So I said, cool. So I went to Cortland. Like, after I had that workout with the Packers, I was like, let me call up Cortland. I want to, like, see if I can, like, get an assistant coaching role and just, like, learn offensive line there. So I called them up, and they gave it to me. They're like, yeah, like, come be our assistant offensive line coach for the season and, like, help out the guys. I was like, awesome, let's do it. So literally I got up to Cortland. I was there for like one day, and then the players came in. It was literally the first day the players came in. We haven't even practiced yet. And this New Jersey number was calling me all day, like, on my phone, just kept calling. And I remember we got to dinner, and I leaned over to the O-line coach, like Coach Castro, and I was like, man, this New Jersey number just keeps calling me all day. It's like, it's annoying. And he's like, bro, pick that up. That might be a team. And my heart dropped. I was like, oh my God. Like, how could I not think of that? And I picked it up. It's the New York Jets.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
And they were like, yeah, we had an injury, like, in camp. We need a defensive lineman. Can you, like, be here, like, for tomorrow morning for a tryout? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I literally, like, got off the phone with them. I told all the coaches, like, yo, I got to try with the Jets. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Just packed all my shit up.
That's crazy.
I just threw all my stuff in the car. It's like 6-7 p.m. at night. Like at this
Yeah,
point,
you got to get there. Yeah.
bro, just threw all my stuff in the car. Got in the car, ripped it down the highway, like 4 hours down there. Got in at like 11:30 midnight. Went to bed. Woke up like 4 or 5 a.m. Tryout. They tried us out for like an hour. They were like killing us because they wanted to make sure we were conditioned. It was me and one other guy, and they had like a spot from one D lineman they were going to sign that day. And they just kept like running us through drill after drill after drill. Eventually, like we get back, and they chose me. I go up. I sign my contract, my first pro contract with the NFL, and then they're like, yeah, like practice is starting now with the team. Like go downstairs, grab your stuff from the equipment manager, and then you got to just run out straight to the field for practice. So like, yeah, that might have been like the craziest 24 hours of my life. Like, so I like get all my stuff on, like get fitted really, really quick. They just like give me a helmet pad and shoulder pads. I'm like adjusting my chin strap and stuff as I'm running out to the field. And like the first time I met any of my teammates or the coaches was out like in warm-up lines on the practice field. Like, and all of a sudden, like the day before, I was like an assistant coach at a D3 school, and now I'm like in warm-up lines playing next to like Muhammad Wilkerson, Leonard Williams, Sheldon Richardson. Like,
so crazy.
It was nuts, bro.
That is nuts, man. That's crazy. All right, so so after that with the Jets, what happens there?
So I was there for a couple of weeks, and then I got hurt again. I got my ankle rolled up on practice, bad high ankle sprain, and then kind of like injury settlement, and that kind of like ended my chances with the Jets. So then I went into that off season. I did a veterans combine, so it was kind of part of like the regional combine thing where like you signed an NFL contract, you could go to this combine and like get a look at my teams. So I went to that combine in like March. I did even better than I did at the combine the previous year. And then I signed with the Ottawa Redblacks like right after that. And I went back to Ottawa for the 2017 season and played the whole year there.
That's crazy. And then you were in the CFL for how long?
So then I was in Ottawa for my rookie year, like had a decent rookie year. Like definitely a lot of like a big learning curve. I'm just like understanding how to like be a professional, how to like keep your body in shape. It's in the CFL they play an 18-game season, so I was used to playing 10 games in the Empire 8, and now to go to 18. So I remember like getting to like game 11 or 12 and just hitting that wall. Like oh my God, just plus 2 preseason games before that. It was just the workload was like so much more. But like I played well as a rookie, like started a good amount of games. And then at the end of the year, they traded me to Edmonton for the next season. So 2018, I was in Edmonton with the Eskimos for the whole year. And that's kind of where I feel like I hit that next level where I started like figuring out the game more, figuring out how to be a pro. I had a lot of good guys around me in that like defensive line room and just in the locker room in general, like a lot of like guys who had done it for 10, 12 years that I could just look up to and kind of emulate.
Yeah.
And ended up having a really good year that year. Like started as a backup in Edmonton and then eventually became the starter and ended up finishing with like 8 sacks and a bunch of tackles. And from there got a tryout with the New York Giants and then killed it at the tryout and then signed a contract with the Giants.
I remember that, bro. I remember watching that. People were tagging me, like mad people were tagging me, and it was so fire, bro. Seeing you there with the Giants, man, that was dope. So then after that, what happened with them?
Yeah, so I was with the Giants for the whole year, right up until like through OTAs, went through training camp, and then like right at the end of training camp, they were like, "Yeah, we want to put you on the practice roster," and then like they chose to go a different way, and I kind of got released. So, I had a great time with the Giants. It was a good experience. Like with the NFL, the thing is like sometimes they got so much money tied up in other guys, or they got like players that they signed or they want to be successful that like they don't really give you sometimes like a fair chance. It seems like, like I just remember feeling like I was better than than a couple of guys, but they just want to give me more reps or want to kind of elevate me on the depth chart at all. So it was
Right,
kind of
right.
tough. I feel like I showed that too in preseason games, and like I finished with like 3 sacks in the preseason games, and I played pretty well. But like at the end of the day, you just gotta like do the best you can, and sometimes the cards aren't in your favor. You know, like sometimes luck just doesn't spin your way, and you just gotta keep fighting and keep going at it and kind of know who you are.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that was crazy. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that was fire watching that. Yo, you killed it, bro. You really did.
yeah, I played pretty. I think I played like pretty. Definitely like the last 2 preseason games. Like when I started getting more playing time, started like feeling like I was playing like really good and getting in my groove. And
Hmm.
it was a transition for me too, like going back from Canadian football back to NFL football, like regular American football. Um, like just getting used to that transition back again, took me a little bit, but I feel like once I figured it out, I started just to like. I feel like I need like a year to figure it out, and then like after that, like I'm good. Like once I figure out the game and in the system, like I could just really start succeeding.
Not facts, and I think that's a perfect segue because after that, when you went back to the CFL, bro, I think um, everything you just said translates to that. Man, it looks so easy, and not obviously we know the CFL. It's very very good competition. You know what I mean? If not the best, it's up there. You know what I'm saying? And um, it really looked like the game slowed down for you, and you were doing super well, right? From accolades to the team was like you were doing really well, man. So I think you're right. I think it literally kind of it. Sometimes you're right. The cards don't spin in our favors, but I think
Mhm.
if you keep pushing at it, you keep digging. I think they can spin back eventually. You know what I mean? And I think that definitely happened for you, and it's continuing to happen, right? Because I don't know what year this is for you now. What year is this for you playing professionally?
Shit, this is gonna be like my 9th year playing pro ball.
Crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy, and you've had a great career so far, and it's only continuing. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
what would you say are some things as we kind of close up a little bit? What would you say are some things that have propelled you through your pro seasons? Like, what are some major things?
Yeah, I think just being like extra work is big, and like everyone says like yeah, when you get to this level, like people work hard, but like you can just outwork people, you know, especially if you're not as talented or you're not as good. I know there's guys that I feel like had more talent than me or like were in better situations, but I feel like I just like outworked them. Like
Hmm.
um, putting in like extra time, like putting in extra time studying film, putting in extra time like getting a workout in, especially at the professional level. Like with our CFL schedule, it's like we have meetings from 8:30 in the morning, and then we practice after that, and everything ends at 1:30. So if you're like a guy that just comes in at 8:30 and then just leaves at 1:30, like you're not going to be around the league for a long time.
Gotcha.
Guys that stick around are the guys that show up either super early in the morning, they're there like 6 a.m. putting in the work, or like you're staying there till 3 or 4 or 5 p.m. every single day, like putting in that extra work, watching film, taking care of your body, getting an extra workout in. All those things add up, and if you do that every single day, you're just going to accumulate so much more work and so much more knowledge of the game, and being like such a better student. One thing that kind of helped me out too was um I remember I was like going back to make like a highlight tape of myself, but I was like, let me just go through like I literally went through like my whole like almost every game, just like watching myself, and I started picking up tendencies when I was pulling out these highlights. It was like, okay, all these plays where I'm making a play or doing something successful, like my stance is a certain way. Like my first step that I get off is like pointed towards the guy instead of like up the field or like slanted, and like I'm attacking him like my arm, and I'm hitting like his shoulder in a certain area, and I kind of realized I was like, these are all like if I do this on a consistent basis, I'm going to be a better player, and it just came
Hmm.
from watching and film on myself and studying myself and seeing those things, and that's what I literally changed my game because I literally do those things today, like with how I approach the game. It's because of watching my highlight tapes and seeing what things made me successful. So
I love that.
that whole accumulation of it, and then like just the perseverance and like keeping your mind right. Like it is such a roller coaster, and sometimes like the luck isn't going to spin your way. You're going to get hurt. like I did, or like you're gonna not get you're not gonna make the team, and someone else is gonna make it, and you think you think you're better. Like it's gonna happen, and you just gotta kind of just stay the course and keep working and keep grinding. Because if you let those things like get to you, then you're gonna kind of fall off the
Mhm.
wagon and
Mhm.
kind of like just start spiraling out of control.
Facts. So in closing, bro, and in every episode of my show, um, I have the segment and I ask everybody this and it's really cool because it's I call it my pain and loss segment, right? And I think that everything that I've been through, bro, in my life, um, that there was pain or there was loss, it has projected me forward, right? It has molded me into not only who I am now, but really like who I am in the future and how I treat others, right? And how I go about other things and maybe even um, how I give others encouragement, right, or just advice at all, right? So, talk about a time in your life where you experienced some pain or loss that obviously that was tough, you know what I mean, but it's helped to kind of project you forward.
Yeah, that's like a close one for me. So in 2021, like my mom passed away from cancer,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
uh, it was during the season. So it was like a COVID year. I was stuck up here in Canada, and I wasn't able to see her like up until she passed away. So it's like it was very kind of really tough year, and just like tough moment for me and my family, and just like I don't even have words to describe it. It's
Yeah,
just a terrible feeling. And I just don't wish anyone like to lose a family member in that way. It's shitty cancer and the disease, but um, I kind of use that as like I want to like play for my mom and remember her and use like my football career as like a thank you to her for like all the hard work that she put in raising me. Like she worked two jobs um, constantly. She would work a day job and then she would go and serve at night at a bar just to make ends meet for me, my brother, and my sister. And like we never went without like a meal. We always had like presents at Christmas and stuff. And it's kind of set like you don't realize like how much someone sacrificed for you till they're gone sometimes, and it's so unfortunate that it is that way. But like she just sacrificed so much for us, and for her to pass away like right before retirement, just it kills me to this day. And
yeah,
I just use football as kind of a tool in my coping mechanism to just remember her and just to honor her. So like after that, I had like I was an all star the following year, and then this past year as well. And it's because of her. Like I play for her now, and I play for her memory, and just trying to be the best person I can be because of how she raised me and all the work that she put into it.
absolutely, man. That's beautiful, man. And rest in peace to your mom, man. I remember when you made that post and everything, right? And it's funny, my mom had cancer as well. She didn't pass, but she had cancer, and I think a lot of people that are going to watch this, a lot of people we know, we've been affected by it, right? But to lose someone so dear to us from that, right? To get taken is it's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? And then for you to be on top of the world, right? Essentially in your own eyes as a pro, like finally able to do something that you love to do at a high level, right? To get someone taken away that's probably like wanting nothing but the best for you, right? That's wanting nothing but to see you up there and to see you smile, to see you play well. I'm sure mentally it took its toll. You know what I mean? And it's cool, and I'm glad that your story is the way that it is, right? I'm glad that you can um, continue to play, but that you're doing it um, in her honor, right? In her memory, and also for yourself as well. But there's always got to be a driving force. I feel like you know what I mean. That kind of keeps us going. It can't just be our own personal stuff, right? And I'm glad that you have a driving force that is so important to you and such like an endearing person. You know what I mean, man? So that's awesome, man. That's amazing to hear. Any last comments? Any last words, bro? I mean, I'm excited for the people to see this one. They're going to be excited.
Yeah. No, man, just like if you're watching this and you want to be like a professional athlete, or you want to like be great at something one day, like just go for it. Like don't be afraid to fail, take risks. I failed so many times in my life. Like shit's gone wrong so many times, but like the most important thing is to just keep going. Like, don't be afraid to look stupid. Just keep going for it. Like, go chase your dreams, man. Don't just fit in with the rest of the world and the rest of the people just going through like a monotonous day. Like, go be different. Like, you're born to be different. So go do it, man.
Absolutely. Love it, brother, man. Hey, listen, blessing, safety this year, right? Praying for a great season for you. And keep doing it, man. Keep working.
Appreciate it. You too, Caleb, bro.
My
Good
brother,
seeing
appreciate you, bro.
you.
Thank you.